And that was it. Well, welcome to Tuesday Night Torg on the Iconic Production channel. I am Jam, your GM. This is 4 of the Faite Five, and we're going to be jumping right into it. When we last left off our Storm Knights?
We're heroes, Jam.
I can definitely call you Storm Knights. You guys were about to get into combat. Well, 3 of you were about to get into combat. 2 of you were sneaking into one of the bases of the Nile Empire here. You recognize the voice of Pharaoh Amorosa, who she was your pharaoh back, in the New Kingdom, and got you. After she died, you joined her swiftly soon after.
Voluntarily.
So we are going to jump right into it. Welcome to Torg's Day Night. Zero Earth Element, Mr. Furious, always good to see you. Phantom, good to see you as well, my friend. And we're just going to jump into it. We're going to flip over the top card. If you remember, Zorba, you have made a nemesis of Dr. Fear. Kowalski, you have a jaw that can shatter wrist bones. Others, hopefully not your own. And Brother Block is just swinging a hammer wildly, which, again, sort of feels apropos to the game. The card that we're jumping into right now is Volley of Insults. Taunts on either side can ignore up to -8 points of multi-target penalty this round, which means you can target up to 4 people with no penalties for your taunts. Wait, hold on. 5 people, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Yes, 5 people. You can taunt 5 enemies, or I can taunt 2 of you twice on my side. Taunting is the approved action. Heroes go first. Villains go second and get inspiration. And on the drama track for Kit, A, B, and C, all those steps are available for you to try and work your way toward the ladies' chambers.
All right.
Now, Evan, good to see you, bud. And Greg, awesome. How's the sound tonight, guys? Is it better? Hopefully you guys are hearing all of us much more clearly. So, Kit, as you turn around to ask Delilah a question, you see she kind of presses back against the wall to be sneaky. Her eyes go wide, and the whole wall
Isn't she invisible?
spins. Kit knew where she was at, though.
Okay.
The wall spins, and she disappears.
Oh, no.
Yes. So, heroes go first. Who would like to go first?
Zorba, I believe you are a championship-level taunter.
Yeah.
You can also taunt for
many?
a second time. Oh, right. The guys coming down the streets.
Mm-hmm.
When we left off, you had the 2
The goons.
goons, Dr. Fear, and then, of course, the storm shock troopers that were coming down, completely legally distinct from stormtroopers.
Mm-hmm.
Shock troopers coming down the streets, 2 groups of 5, each one led by an officer.
Okay, so 2 groups of 5.
Yeah.
What is our plan here, guys?
Guns.
Okay.
I thought it's a summary of most of our plans.
And a sword.
But my guns are now
I
behind
like
a
getting
wall.
hit.
Yeah. Plans,
And
man. I'm the one with the gun.
I also have teeth and horns should things get really,
Mhm.
really gnarly.
Okay, but do we...
Right. But
do we think we can take them?
We can take them and all their
Are there
friends.
any vehicles in the area?
well, what I will say is, don't forget,
Mhm.
if you roll an outstanding success on an interaction attack, say
Mhm.
like taunt,
Mm-hmm.
you can remove your targets as long as they are not reality rated from the scene. So if you intimidate 5 people and they're not reality rated, and you get an outstanding success, those 5 people are so scared they leave. Player's choice on what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I think, and I can target up to 5 this round.
You can target up to 5 with no penalty. You could try and target all 10, at a minus 12. I would not recommend it unless you are feeling.
Yeah, I'm targeting all 10.
You're gonna try. All right. So
Why not?
how do you get the attention of all 10 of the shock troopers?
I'm gonna think about that and let the Bens take their moves.
All right, the Bens. You can see something working behind Zorba's eyes so clever that if you pinned a tail on it, you'd call it a fox. What are you two doing?
I mean, you know what I'm about to do. What are you doing, Ben? I'm about to shoot somebody.
Shoot him.
In that case, I am shooting both of the henchmen,
Okay.
using my double tap ability to avoid the penalty for the second.
Nope. Double tap. Well, I mean, double tap adds 2 to the final roll. It would just negate the +2. So yeah, you're at a straight roll. Right. Go for it.
Okay. Shooting him with my Mim 8,
Your Mim 8.
which is a railgun. It's a 2.
So probably going to spend a possibility
Probably
on
gonna
that
spend
one.
a
Yeah, that feels
Yeah.
like a solid move. Solid move.
Pretty good roll.
That's also a 6, so
That's a
It
10.
counts as
10,
12.
so
Yeah.
that's 12, so that's a nice solid 0 bonus.
Okay.
On my energy weapons, that's a 14.
So that's a 14. All right. So the sad news for me is the goons have a dodge of 9, which makes this a good success.
Excellent.
So you get to roll your bonus die, and what's the base damage on your weapon?
14.
That's not great.
AP2 at short range.
Sweet. Cool.
That's plus 3 damage, so 17 damage.
So 17 damage. They have no possibilities left. They blew them all last week, surviving the first round of blasting and hammer swinging. So you inflict 1 wound on each of them, and these guys have 1 wound. So what does it look like, Kowalski?
All right, well, I assume they just got hit by the hammer of God. So I step out from behind Block with my
His
Mim
first
8.
name's Steve, so it could also be the hammer of Steve.
I thought that's
No,
not right.
no. Okay. I'm caffeinated, so
Okay.
these are the jokes.
Ben.
So I step out from behind Brother Block, my Mim 8 at waist level, and just
Okay.
gunfighter style.
Both of these guys go down in a hail of rail slugs, dropping to the ground. Dead, unconscious.
Pretty sure these guys are dead.
Okay, just blew them away.
They're the goons. They're clearly the bad guys.
They are. These are clear. The one nice thing about the Nile Empire for you, Kowalski, is there are no shades of gray.
Exactly.
Right.
There's
Right.
no-
Everywhere else in the world, like in Darkhold, there's just black and darker black. Here, no shades of
good
gray.
guys and bad guys.
There's good guys, and then there's the bad guys. And these guys, clearly the bad guys. All right, Brother Block, what do you got?
I'm going to assume that both of the lieutenants are reality rated.
That is a good assumption. Yes, one is coming from the west and one is coming from the east.
Whichever one would put myself between him and everyone else.
Yeah, you can either one, left or right. I'll pick it for you. Right.
Right.
Block goes running right.
Grapple.
You're gonna grapple.
I'm gonna grab him and hold him.
All right. Give me an unarmed combat test. Literally, I have no clue what he does. Every time it comes to his turn, I'm just like,
Somehow he's the wild card
that's right.
as the paladin.
It's like possible inputs. The Ben box.
Okay, I did have to spend a possibility, but the total will be a 14.
A 14 is a standard success. So you want to make him vulnerable? Oh no, you're grappling. There we go. All right, so you don't inflict damage, but he is restrained. All right, Zorba, well, first of all, there is a hail of high-pitched whines as Kowalski just takes out the 2 goons on either side of Dr. Fear. You see Brother Block go running down the street and grab one of the commanders. What are you going to do?
Mr. Furious has also given you an extra possibility for whatever comes.
That's right. Yeah, you can use that to taunt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, Ben, what's your strength -2? Block strength -2. Do you want to inflict damage?
It would be 9.
All right. Okay.
That sounds promising.
That is a number. Okay.
So the two goons that were with Dr. Fear are just out.
Yeah, they're gone.
Dr. Fear is doing what?
He is not he is summoning his minions.
He's summoning his minions.
Yeah.
Those are the ones. That are coming down the street. How many of those?
There's the 10.
There's the 10.
5 and 5. Yep.
And then Brother Block took out, or who?
Both of his.
He took one of the. He's got one of the commanders of the 2 squads.
Yep. Okay. I was getting
So
confused
of
between
the-
2
of
captains
the-
and 2 goons. And...
Yes.
Okay. So seeing that, I just want to walk up to the captain of the other sort of group
Yeah.
of
So you're gonna leave Dr. Fear. You're gonna go take off down the other side.
yeah.
Okay.
Just to the other group, and well, Dr. Fear he's just trying to clean his.
Oh no, he looks infuriated. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think he's trying to kill you.
Oh, he's actively.
Yeah, remember
attacking
he
me?
stabbed you in the chest with his
Right.
electro cane.
Okay.
It was shocking.
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn my back on him and walk to the other other captain that Brother Block is not tackled.
Right.
And I'm gonna walk up
Right.
and I'm just going to rip his insignia off his chest.
So you're just taunting the one guy, or are you trying to taunt all?
In targeting the captain, I am targeting.
Okay, so you're going to target
group of
6 people.
Yes.
So -2, -4, -6, -8. So it's a total taunt of -2 that will be compared to both groups' taunt defense.
Mm-hmm.
A taunted taunt.
Well, that wasn't good. So let's spend a possibility.
And don't forget, you have a free one from Mr. Furious.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
he really wants to see you
spend that.
taunt these guys.
Send that free one, and I got 20.
No.
That's a good use of a free
Yeah.
possibility.
Yes.
Right.
And that's an 18.
38 plus your original roll, which was a
3.
so 41.
41. Can I spend a Nile Empire one and just make it even higher?
Would it?
Well, so here's the thing. Remember, outstanding is all that you have to achieve. So
Okay.
your total bonus right now is 11 minus the 2, so +9. What's your taunt? Let's see what happens. Because there's already been a glory in play. You can't,
Okay,
like,
I
extra
can't-
glory is
I can't
just
play extra glory.
it's
Okay.
glorious.
My total taunt is so plus 12, so 25.
Minus the 2 for the multi-target.
Yeah, so that's going to be 26 total on my.
Probably can spend like 3 more possibilities.
All right, so that is an outstanding success across the board on this group.
Mhm.
So you have what's called player's choice.
Mhm.
So basically, you can make the commander. You basically can remove him from his next action,
Mhm.
however you want to. The rest of the guys can be removed from the scene. So how do they respond to this?
Well, the rest of them seeing me just sort of very brazenly rip the insignia off of their commander
And spill coffee on the shoes.
and spill coffee. At which point I then return to my table, sit down, and lay the insignia there, and just go back to eating my breakfast.
All right. So what? And so the other guy is like the commander's so infuriated, just
Yeah,
like,
he's just angry beyond.
angry beyond all belief.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the guys looking at him are like, "You've just been dishonored."
Mm-hmm.
They just want, like, they go hightailing it back to the. All right. Kit. Alarms are going off. Sirens are blaring. There's the commands to go out to take out 2 of them and kill the other one. What are you doing? So your first step is going to be to try to avoid
So
combat patrols. Yeah.
they're all running by.
Yeah.
Delilah's nowhere to be seen, even more so than when she was
Even
invisible.
more so, yeah. You saw that thing pivot and gone.
So at this point, I would think, like, if they're all running by, what do I know about this compound? Do I know that, like, there might be, like, a closet on the other side of something, or I could use my corporeal diffraction? It's still spelled diffraction on here, so I want to say that every time.
There's an easy way to solve that.
It was written in pencil, and I will not fix it.
Okay. Okay. As long as we're all on the same page.
Where I could maybe do something like that to like get into like the crawl space or a wall.
Okay. So
or something.
we'll do your first step of this is your mind roll to kind of analyze. Do you have evidence analysis?
I do.
Yeah, give me an evidence analysis roll. That'll be your first. So before you do you want to try and do multiple steps at once? Or do you want to just play it safe and kind of move through?
Can I base step 2 on how well step 1 goes? Like if step 1...
Because it's multi-action. But you could say, I want to analyze it to find a space to then cast my spell to go through there. And it'll be one roll for both actions. That'll count as step A and step B.
Yes, I'd like to do that. Okay, that was an 11. Which would put, that was like a lot of things. That would put my evidence analysis at 12 and my spell at 14. Would it behoove me to make that better?
So 12 is a base. Did you take your -2 to both? Your -2 to your final roll?
Sure didn't. They both failed, so I want to use a possibility.
Well, no, that's just 10 and 12. So yeah, you probably want to use a possibility here.
Yeah, because it spells a D and 14.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're going to use a possibility. And that's a 10 because it was a 6. Okay, so that's a +8. So it would be a 20 on the evidence analysis.
Okay.
No, 18 with the -2. 18 on the net evidence analysis, and I forgot all the math that I just did. And a 20 on the spell.
Okay. So it takes you some time, right? Because it takes about a minute for all of this. But we're in a dramatic scene. You kind of rapping on walls, kind of trying to sneak around, stay out of the line of sight of everybody. You find what you think is a safe wall to sort of phase through it into. And you locate a crack that you are able to kind of twist and work your way through as you cast the spell. You are in total darkness at this point. We will come back to you in a second. All right, it is now the villain's turn. They get inspiration. And we're going to start off with Brother Block, the guy you have grabbed. You had a standard success. So you kind of twist his arm. He just takes his gun and he puts it right into your chest. And he's going to make a called shot to try and get past your armor.
Where is Block's drone?
Where's Block's what?
Drone. His armor drone.
I don't know.
Is it protecting anybody? Or
He's got his drone right there.
oh.
But like,
Is it doing anything?
So Block.
I believe it is on me right now.
Okay.
But it does not give me a benefit to the bunker mode because I have not declared bunker mode. But it does give me +4 to my dodge.
Which takes your dodge to a 13, correct? Hey, Rook, good to see you, buddy. Thank you, man. All right, so the good news is, even accounting for your dodge, he got a good success against you, and it's -6 or okay, there we go. So it's +4 to the damage. All right, so here's what we got, Block. Your base toughness is 12. They get +4 to the damage and a roll of the die. So 17 plus
Except that you are forgetting about my breastplate of righteousness, which makes me actually a base of 15 toughness.
Oh, okay. So I rolled a 22. So that's up by 7, which is a wound and 2 shock. You guys hear just the sound of a KK-08 going off into the into Block. Block, do you want to soak it?
Again, I did a battle prayer before this battle.
So it takes
And
no.
so
Yep.
I get 2 less shock.
Yep.
So no shock. I will take the wound.
So that's your second wound, correct?
Yes, it is my second wound.
How many you got? 3 or 4?
3, and then I die.
Okay, well, all right.
Or maybe die. But also, I have not healed myself yet.
All right, so here's what happens. The other 5 guys are going to combine their action to dogpile on you and try and grapple you. Could have done this in the other order, but, you know. Ooh.
I never like
It's 5. You never like when I'm like, ooh. I mean, that's fair. All right. Brother Block, what is your unarmed defense?
With 2 wounds, it is a 7.
Oh, man. You are restrained, stymied, and you get hit with strength damage, which basically does nothing. But you guys see these 5 guys all dogpile onto Block, and as Block is struggling, they pull him all the way to the ground, and the captain puts his foot on Block's chest and looks like he is ready to. I don't know what the next card is. It could be something good, could be something bad. However, it is not that turn. It is Dr. Fear's turn. Just raging, he takes the table and flips it and gets in your face, and he's going to multi-action. He's going to taunt you and stab at thee with his diamond-tipped cane. You will not turn your back on me, Zorba Aladdin. I will be your death, and you will stare at it in your in the eyes. Ooh.
That is how eyes work.
That is how I work. Listen, you know what? I wasn't expecting to double taunt. Oh wait, hey, you taunted. Para 2.
Oh, yeah, card?
All right. So taunt and unarmed combat. What's your taunt skill at, Zorba?
My taunt skill is 16.
All right, 16, and you're at an 8. So let's see how this all works out. +3. All right, so the taunt got a 21, so that's a good success.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to make you very.
Could you say that again?
He's going to make you very vulnerable. I'm just going to leave this in the house tomorrow. That would have been smart.
He wants to play.
I know, right? The real hero.
The voice of the drunk.
15 versus 8 would be an outstanding success with the very vulnerable. All right. I have your toughness at. That can't be right. At 10. Yes?
My toughness, total toughness 10, yes.
All right. All right. So, 2 things happen. Kowalski, you hear the sound of like.
Wait, Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
After you taunted everyone the first round, you put a card into play, right? Because that's how
I
the
did.
game works.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, I did too. So we both have a card in our pools. Would you be willing to trade whatever card you put in for opponent fails?
Do you want to reconnect or a second chance? I've actually got both in my pool at the moment.
I'll take reconnect.
You'll take reconnect? All right, you have a reconnect. I have an opponent fails?
You have an opponent fail.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
All right. So you're gonna Take it.
Oh yeah, I'm taking it.
All right.
The
So he goes and there's this discharge of lightning, but you do not feel vulnerable. You do not feel electricity kicking you in the chest and tossing you across the street like I saw it in my head. All right, it is now time for the next card. Well done, Storm Knights. The tension rises. There is no C on this card, so you will have to bubble around this card and see what happens. Yeah. Well, I mean, you get to.
Ooh.
All players discard a destiny card of their choice from their hands. Heroes will go first, and the villains suffer a setback. Maneuver is the approved action. We're going to start with Kit. What do you like? You can't progress, but you can still try and figure out where you're at.
Yeah, I'd like to. Do I hear, or if I'm in total darkness, what are the chances a mummy secretly stays in the dark?
Very poor.
Great. Then I would like to hear instead and try and see if I can figure out where I am. And barring that, if I don't hear anything creepy, maybe start like feeling my way around.
Okay. There's a tiny part of me that wants to have you like stepping on mothballs and feeling fur coats, but it's getting colder. Like the further you go in. There's a fawn behind you, like really confused. All right, so go ahead and give me a find roll.
Okay. That is a 12.
That is a 12. All right, you. So good news. You find a light switch.
Oh, good.
Do you flip it?
Did the hearing do anything?
You can hear kind of a really low, kind of far away, like hum. Like, kind of at that 33 hertz hum.
Kid has no idea what that means. So, I actually don't think I will.
Okay.
I kind of want to scoot along and see if I can learn anything more. It's like a tiny room, and I might go back to it.
As your eyes adjust, you can see there's a little bit of light coming from a narrow band on the floor. It's only extending a couple inches in, but every so often you can see shadows moving past. And then you bump into a table, and there's some shuffling noises and some rattling noises from above you, and you hear something kind of roll and then fall off, but it doesn't really make a sound when it hits the ground. Also, the floor is very furry.
So I'm clearly inside a monster.
That took a turn.
James making a note of that for Tharkold. It smells sort of acidic and vilely.
Okay, then in that case, if I had anything like, I don't know, I feel like 1930s mummies probably wearing like a bunch of shawls or whatever.
flower beads.
Yeah, I want to put something down in front of the thing, the light that's probably a door.
Yeah.
I want to put something down to cover that and then flip the switch.
Okay. So as you flip the switch, we'll come back.
Okay.
In a second. Gentlemen.
All right, so we have a conundrum here. I assume that...
No, the conundrum is not here. Dr. Fear is here.
That guy's name is Conundrum. So basically, I can either go save my friend, Brother Block, or... can Zorba handle Dr. Fear by himself? I guess I
mean, here's the thing. They're both ridiculously well-dressed and ridiculously handsome.
It's true. It's, I sort of...
it sort of feels like a perfect match.
Yeah, I put a hand the size of Zorba's head on his shoulder.
Like, just for
Oh yeah.
This is clearly
Can I see the Nile Empire book?
sure. There you go.
what a gentleman's dispute, a lover's quarrel.
Mr. Furious definitely gets a possibility for referring to Kowalski as Mr. Tumnus.
I'm gonna go help my friend.
Okay.
And okay. I'm going to step outside the cafe. I'm going to raise the railgun to my shoulder, and I'm going to shoot twice at the
Okay.
captain with his
Gun
pistol,
on.
about to kill
Alright.
my friend. So it's a 13, so that gets me a +1 to a 15, so total of 15.
Okay. Total of 15. Well, that would hit, but he is going to. Yeah, go ahead. That hits as a good success.
Okay, so that means just one,
Mm-hmm.
one extra damage. Okay. That was too easy. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm firing into melee.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I kill Brother Block, I'll
Oh
be
yeah,
very
you are
sad.
firing into melee. So what was
Son of a gun! I
what
could have
was-
said nothing.
You guys said nothing. What was the final result
It was
on the die? Was it even or odd?
It was odd.
All right, so it is odd. So there are 5 grunts and a block and a. All right, so I'm gonna roll to see who you hit.
Mr. Furious, my other gun is actually attached to me. My minade is I carry that around.
Isn't it nice having the chat
Yeah,
up?
it's
So
awesome.
like it's great. You get all right. So that's 6. So what we'll do is we'll do every 3, and I'll re-roll at an 18 or 19. Do you want it to go brother block, officer, and then the 5 guys, or do you want it to go like who do you want? Who do you want at the low end? Who do you want at the high end?
Brother Block on the low.
So 1 to 3 is brother block.
Yes.
All right. All right, so the good news is you don't hit Brother Block. The bad news is you don't hit the commander, and one of the grunts takes it in the face.
Okay, what about my second shot?
So double tap's still only 1 shot. You just fire a bunch to try and hit your target. So,
Maybe I'm distracted.
well, here's the thing. Against that guy, you get to roll 2 dice.
Okay. Well, 3 dice.
Just keep rolling, but he's definitely dead.
Okay.
Just in case you were wondering, there's just Brother Block. You are covered in the chunky salsa of a that was once previously a Nile Empire shock trooper. Odds are getting better every time you shoot.
Okay. No.
Bloque and Zorba, what are you doing?
So I would first like to use one of my new perks that I bought, which is that I can search the Destiny deck, and you give me a connection card.
Okay.
It's the famous perk. Somebody knows me. I can,
Somebody knows you here.
yeah, if I choose to play that card.
Okay. And it's got to go in your pool.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it goes into my hand first.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Somebody at the cafe recognizes you?
Well, we'll see if I can get it into the pool.
All right.
I'm going to taunt. I'm going to continue taunting Dr. Fear
You're going to taunt Dr. Fear.
again.
Well, you haven't taunted him yet.
Oh,
you did. You spilled his stuff.
A nemesis.
Yeah, you made a nemesis of him. Nemesis.
Yeah, I'm going to, finish the last little piece. Or he turned my table over.
He turned your table over.
Okay.
He upended it.
I, looking around, see that all the waiters and staff are all sort of hiding. I'm assuming,
Oh, yeah.
saloon gunfight style.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Inside. And which point I will just sort of stand, search my pockets, grab the correct change that is owed for lunch, and then hand it to, or toss it to Dr. Fear,
Okay.
and, say,
You're just going to tip him as if he were a waiter.
yeah, I'm tipping.
Is that your taunt?
Yes, that's my taunt.
Okay. Roll your taunt. Be careful. He may taunt you a second time.
Okay, I'm going to spend a possibility. And that's 17, so that's a total of 26. So 9, 22. 25.
A 25 is a good success.
All right.
So do you want to make him vulnerable or very vulnerable or very stymied?
I want to make him very stymied.
All right.
And then I'm going to play this connection card
In your pool?
into my pool.
Nice. All right.
At this point, I'm going to head towards Brother Block.
All right. So, Brother Block, you are flat-footed. To all attacks, you may not move. You may only attempt to break free. It's an opposed strength test with the might of 4 shock troopers against you. Thank you. It was believable.
You sound really confident.
Yeah, I'm super confident. Like getting bit by one of these guys and getting the proportional strength of a shock trooper is not.
Actually, make me like less strong.
I don't know. Kit may actually benefit from the proportional strength. Yeah, there you go. All right, you ready, Brother Block? Roll off.
It is I have a 22 minus all penalties. So that becomes a 20 with my 2 wounds.
Okay. They had a 10 and a 17, which is a +4, so it still may not be great. 8 and 7, 15, and 4 is a 19. So you break free.
Do this one instead.
But that takes your whole action to do so. So what does it look like, Brother Block, as you're tossing these guys around? Riding into the sun? You're...
So you know how in a cartoon when a cat and a dog and a mouse and a bird and a snake and a koala and a kangaroo are all fighting and it's
I've never
a
seen
dust
that
cloud?
cartoon.
I'm tracking. Like you have built a poetry of images with your words, sir.
Yes. The other thing is that the drone is bouncing around like a disco ball in a sponge party.
All right. It is now the villain's turn, but they have suffered a setback. And I think I know what it is. Zorba, it may be nothing. It's probably nothing. But as you look in the crowd, as people are fleeing, there's this one moment where the crowd kind of parts and you think you recognize the silhouette, the feminine silhouette of someone who definitely was riding a boat last time. Can't be sure.
Throwing sharpened little
You
objects.
could be sure with a connection card.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Shaking out of his insane rage, grabbing his insignia and putting it back. Definitely not flush. Yeah, that's actually the worst. That's why those other guys left, Greg.
Like,
Stupid 401k. You missed something. It clearly says we have $4,001 in our. No, that's a 401k. That's not what that means. All right, he's going to take a shot at your back, Kowalski.
rude.
Oh yeah, definitely rude. Oh, I don't know who replaced my dice with these 20-sideds that just have 10s and 20s on them, but whoever sent those. Thank you. No, it's a 4.
Ah, shucks.
Kowalski does a. Gotta find my fire combat. 17 hit your dodge.
It does.
Is that a that is not even a good success though. That is just a standard success. So
That's
this
correct.
commander is going to spend one of his possibilities to see if that thing blows up. It's just a 7. So 34 adds plus 10.
It's not nice.
It is not nice. He is not trying to be nice. He is angry at you. Actually, he's angry at Zorba, but you were the one charging the other squad. You know how it goes. So a 20 is a good success.
Yeah.
What's your toughness there, sir?
That's a 12.
All right, he is firing a K81 rifle
Okay.
with a short burst.
It's gonna hurt.
It's going to hurt. Just so you know, this is going to hurt. So what's your toughness, you said? 14?
12.
12? All right, so I'm up 1.
Not very strong. And not very
And I rolled double 2s. So 5. 1 wound and 2 shock as you get hit in the back from this thing.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and try and... Well, I have 1 shock, so 1 wound and 1 shock. And it costs a possibility to soak, right?
Costs a possibility to soak.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and play my drama card. Go and soak that.
All right, go for it. Dr. Fear said your plan is to fight Dr. Fear by simply pretending there is no fight and that he is just an ill-tempered waiter.
All right. Reality
Bold
check.
move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
We rolled
Yeah,
so
that's,
far.
It seems to be working for him.
that's an 8. I guess can I spend another possibility?
You can.
All right.
I think Zorba inspires us to be calm in danger.
I mean, it
Like,
is possible.
He really handles it well.
Yeah.
So even though we're like swinging hammers and shooting rail guns,
It's like
we're
you're
like maybe I overreacted.
that you're just like very at peace, swinging your hammers and shooting your rail guns.
I mean, that could possibly be it.
Yeah, that's a 15.
It's a 15, so that'll reduce it to no wounds
Okay.
and or in this case, no wounds and no shocks. So, how does that happen? What do you do here?
As he shoots me in the back, there is a sort of ping ting sound, and through the holes in my shirt, you see my endoskeleton.
Yeah,
You can see a bit of metal showing through my skin.
your endoskeleton is briefly a bit of your exoskeleton.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Correct.
All right. So the 4 guys just start kicking Zorba. Well, actually, we're gonna see if they can again tackle Brother Block because that worked out so well. And maneuver is our approved action. So 14 is only a +1. I do not think that. What is your unarmed defense again, Brother Block? I apologize.
With my wounds, it's 7.
Oh, wow. All right. So I got a base 9 plus the 3 from the helpers is, I can do math, 12, which is a good success. You take no damage again, but you are once again restrained. And they will make you, because you're restrained, you're flat-footed. So the guy sees the charging Kowalski, and he's going to multi-target. He's going to try and shoot Kowalski, and then put one in block. I'm getting glares at this side of the town.
With an immediate action, I will say, Tink, go guard Kowalski.
Is its name Tink?
Yeah, the drone's name is Tink.
Oh,
Because I
okay.
think about it and he does what I want.
Peter Pan reference, but I guess it's better.
It's both.
Ben, you can have a possibility for that. All right.
Okay, so but that just gives you a +4 to your dodge, brother.
All right.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
So a 29 is up 9, which is only an up 7 because he's taking a multi-target. You are vulnerable from being flat-footed. So what is your dodge at now, sir? So, Kowalski 17 is just a straight hit on you, correct?
Except that my new dodge has a. It's
Oh,
18,
then you-
so I'm good.
So the drone, the bullets are coming at you, and the drone just projects this field, and you can see the little ripples like raindrops in a pond of light, just that like.
Do they like
Blossoms.
do they hit the ground in front of me, or do they
Yeah.
hang in
Yeah, they
space?
Yeah. Kowalski or Block, what's your dodge?
With penalties, it is a 7.
And your toughness?
Still a 15.
Still a 15. Well, that's good. So I am up 5 on that 15, and that puts you in a wound and a wound and no shock for you.
I will take the 3rd wound. Because I'm going to heal myself as long as these dudes don't keep jumping on me.
But they
The
are.
two of
Are
you.
they still there?
They're still there.
They're actively restricting you.
I'm going to soak to show how cool I am.
Okay. Dr. Fear is coming for you.
Yeah, I
One assumes.
would guess as much.
No more cards up your sleeve, Zorba. And you can see that he's got this real kind of fancy watch,
Mhm.
and there's like one light that starts like blinking on it.
Mhm.
And as he comes up to you, he kind of hits the light, draws the cane into a fencer stance, and then tries to put kind of the pointy end kind of here.
The moneymaker.
I mean, yes, that's a 10. 18. All right. Plus 5. 16 versus your melee defense. All right. Which is not high. But. All right, so that will be. He gets you right in the face.
Okay.
That will be a 2 wounds and 4 shock, unless you would like to
I would
soak
like
it.
to soak.
And it does kick you across. Finally, the zap kind of throws you back. You land like
At the feet of the river ninja.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. All right, you land at the feet and you look down, and this beautiful woman is looking down at you. And you recognize the blonde hair, you recognize the eyes. The rest of the cheekbones are nice as well.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. And are you going to soak?
I'm soaking.
Does like Zorba like, hey baby, or what? Like,
Zorba's a classy man.
okay, so
Probably.
Kowalski says, hey baby.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a Kowalskiism.
Okay. Can I spend anything?
You can always spend a second one. You can always spend. So the first, it's a possibility just to trigger a reality test. You may spend a possibility on a reality test.
I'll spend a possibility on that.
I spent 1 to soak and got an 18 in
All right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Zero Earth Elements gets one for the singing and chat possibility because I love that song.
Also
And
Queen.
And this is a reality
It's true.
test.
I was thinking the vibes. But
Oh. No, he's
13.
doing the.
yeah, once he put the long. Yeah.
13 on my soak test.
Yeah, no, now I'm tracking. I read it wrong. 13
Mhm.
on your soak test. So that will drop it from 2 wounds and 4 shock to 1 wound and no shock.
All right.
All right. You look down, and I need Kit for no reason. I just need you to roll a d20.
Okay, this can only be good.
Yes.
I bet how many presents to give.
Yeah. If you get a 20, let me know.
It was a 2.
Okay. That's just great. Roll an extra obstacle, which Kit just did, and add it to the scene. The extra obstacle she rolled was villainous reinforcements alive. So to answer your question, there is a vehicle, as you can hear clearly the sounds of a Jeep and a 1930s Rolls Royce as they come tearing down the street. There are 3 shock troopers in the Jeep, and one of them has the machine gun mounted on the back of it.
Can we get an acquisition roll for Lady Salvo?
Villains go first. Heroes suffer a setback, which I think we just established what that was.
So pretty clear.
And defend or trick is the approved action. She helps you to your feet as a free response. Before she can say anything, this Jeep comes barreling down the street, and the driver is attempting to ram Kowalski.
I had that coming.
Oh, you rolled a 3.
I assume there's like a baller that's like I'm standing right in front of and just like.
No. They barely miss you, but he kind of skids in a corner, and the guy in the front is tracking you with the machine gun and just.
With the ballard situation, I was getting like flying off the Jeep and impaling on your horns.
It's when that happens.
It's going to take you weeks to get Minion out of the crevices of your horn. What's your dodge, sir?
With Tink, it is an 18.
It is an 18 with Tink. I am glad that you qualified that. So they hit you straight up. So it's not extra damage. It's not. It's just base. So what is your currently? What is your toughness with Tink?
What is my toughness with Tink? He just adds dodge, not toughness, right? Okay, so my toughness, Tink notwithstanding, is still 12.
Tink notwithstanding. I feel like
I can't switch it to Bunkill, but I thought you were doing fine.
Yeah, until they tried to hit me with a truck.
thought you were doing fine. Yeah, until they tried to hit you with a truck. How much of that is armor?
4 of those.
All right, so drop it by 2 for the AP.
Okay, so that's 10.
10.
I'm not super duper strong.
All right, a wound and 2 shock.
I think I'm gonna have to eat it.
All right, so that was my driver, my gunner. The guy on the side's not doing anything, but just kind of staring at everything. We've got
Cool.
We've got those guys are taking their action to keep Block down. Hopefully, so that he does not get up again. You could give me a possibility. That would be amazing, Mr. Furious.
Oh, it was Chumbawamba. It was Chumbawamba.
For that, the guy turns and looks at you. And it's like he doesn't have double tap, but if he did, he would. I'm sorry, Block. He's taking his shot. Oh, my dice failed me. So that's an 8. So that's a -2 to his fire combat, which makes it an 8. What is currently your vulnerable dodge from being restrained and wounded? Restrained?
And 8.
So they hit you for base damage, which I don't think does anything to you. Nope, 13 doesn't. 13 would do just shock, and sadly,
I prayed all night.
you
so,
prayed.
yeah,
You prayed
good.
all night. Somehow, being exhausted made you immune to shock. All right, so
That's the one thing that Lionel Richie and Brother Block have in common. We go all night long.
all right, so it is just Dr. Fear's turn.
These are
And-
different things, though.
You don't know. Maybe Lionel Richie played a lot of Torg back in the day.
I didn't. I know he's not like renowned for his piety, Lionel Richie, but
He didn't pray.
yeah.
Listen,
Unless it's more than like the halls.
this is a family show. Back. How dare you? No. That's gonna be my new ringtone. I'm gonna take that. All right. So at this point, Dr. Fear gets in the walks up to the Rolls Royce as the window kind of pulls down. He is reaching for something inside of it.
He had
I think that is all of my villains. Heroes. We're going to start with Kit. Kit. So,
Oh, my elbow.
this has critical problem on it, which means if you do not move forward this round, you basically are forced back to the start zone.
No.
So good luck.
Okay.
The lights come. Your lights. You turn the light on, right? So it immediately reveals a small, tiny room.
Okay.
A desk that you knocked. You bumped into. You knocked a fountain pen off the desk. It is currently leaking into the very thick shag carpeting that is in this room. It's all like maroon, like a deep, almost vermilion. With the trim is in gold, and then white above that with like hieroglyphic images and just funerary processions. And as you watch, the wall at the far end of the room starts to slide up. Light is pouring in from underneath it, and you can see it reveals a set of stairs that is going down, but it sort of leads down to a large catwalk that overlooks like 4 giant sarcophagi. And there are giant, I'm trying to describe this for Kit. There are giant metal rings of descending size with a large metal ball at the top of it. There are 4 of them. And there's electricity arcing up and down them, and then arcing, like when they get to the top, it sort of jumps around, and you can see the sarcophagi are starting to kind of glow. There's several men in white lab coats with, pens taking notes, looking at these things. You can see several other mummies walking about, and it is only a matter of time before they turn and look and realize that this hidden entrance has been revealed. How are you going to get past this? You can see that across the catwalk, there is another room much like this, and in it you see a woman you recognize, or at least a woman you would recognize, assuming she looks sort of like you look, which she does, and you do, so you do.
Okay, quick questions. A, this light switch also moves the secret door?
No, but you have a critical problem. So you also happen to find the foot plate, the pressure plate in the floor.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
That seems like a really weird design flaw. B, these mummies that are down there walking around. Okay, I'm gonna restart B. B, what are the approved actions this round?
For you, defend or trick.
Great. So C, these mummies that are walking around do...
The chat is already following.
Yeah, I feel like everyone knows where this is going. Can I trick everyone into thinking that I'm one of these mummies
You
while
can
I
definitely-
amble
you
over
can-
to
You
Lady
can
Omerta?
definitely try. Hi, I'm the new mummy. What do you mean you did not get my transfer paper?
Your
Give me
transfer
a-
papyrus.
That's right. That's right. Give me a trick roll.
Okay. 20.
Oh.
No, my juju has traveled to the other side of the table.
Okay, so my trick roll is a 20. How many possibility do I need to spend?
None. That is a outstanding success. So, to ask Ben's question, do you walk like an Egyptian across?
Yeah, the whole way.
Yeah, the whole way. Just blending in the whole way. You make it across the catwalk. There is only one.
Two scientists are like, they always walk like that. It's so creepy.
There's only one. Like no one's really paying attention to you. You've completely blended, and you get to the door where Lady Omerta is there as she's watching this whole thing, arms kind of behind her back. There are several Egyptian cats kind of moving about inside. You can see that there is a what looks to be like one of those electric locks that you've heard about before, but there are hieroglyphics, and it looks like it's an advanced math.
Great.
Step D is figuring out the password, which will be next step for you. So
Okay.
well done, avoiding the critical problem. And for your trickery roll, I'm sending a destiny card and a possibility your way.
Hey, fun. Thank you.
Heroes.
All right, ain't looking good. Just saying that. Okay, so Brother Block is officially out. He's one away from death. Just to reestablish the scene, there
Yep.
is
No, I soaked it. I'm now 2 away from dead.
Okay, all right. So we
Or-
have
Good.
we have.
You asked for that.
I did ask for that. We had two enemy officers, correct?
You have 2 enemy officers, yes.
Dr. Fear
Dr. Fear.
and 4 goons.
You have 4 goons and 3
And then
or 4 shock troopers. Goons are something different.
you're right.
Don't be threatened. There were goons. Now there are shock troopers.
I'm
And there are
sorry.
the 3 in the back of the
Okay,
Jeep.
and I've just been hit by the guy with the machine gun.
You have been.
Okay.
So I only have one choice, and that is to escape by strength roll. Correct?
That is correct.
All right.
If you make a
That's
good, if you get a good success, you will get to take your action.
It is a
The worm has turned.
14.
Okay, I auto fail with a 1. So you break free, sending these guys scattering like 9-pins, and it is your. You still have an action, Brother Block.
Go grab that thing that Dr.
Goon
Fear
is,
is pulling out
exactly.
of the car. He's pulling some kind of weapon out of the car. Go, like, grab it or something. Or that's my suggestion.
What is the approved action?
Trick.
Ooh.
Trick. Well, I can't do that.
He cannot tell a lie.
It's okay, neither can I.
Really
Not
not
from trying.
Wait. What kind of car is it? An old Rolls Royce.
It is a new Rolls Royce, but it is a
Oh,
1930s Rolls Royce.
Christine.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have like an electronic infrastructure.
No, it does not.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Now I have walk like an Egyptian stuck in my head.
I've got it. I was fine until they hit me with the machine gun. And goonist is apparently.
Apparently the proper term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, those goons lay down their life for Dr. Fear
Yeah, well.
in a hail of gunfire. All right, what you got, Ben? What are you doing?
Am I close enough to swing on the hood of the car?
No, you would have to run there, which would mean leaving combat with these guys.
Sorry, Gabe. I'm going to try to heal myself.
Fair enough.
All right. So, Brother Block prays to the developer of the game in which he's trapped to grant him either a health pack at least or at God mode at best.
He bleeds into the game.
Just one of those turkey legs that you find on the ground. that
That's
gets-
right. That's right. Blue Paladin needs food badly.
That is a 15 faith roll.
All right, so that's 2 wounds, yes?
Si, senor, I'm now back to full health.
All right. You guys see this glow escape from Brother Block that sort of pixelates around his wounds, and when the pixelation goes away, he's unwounded.
All right.
Kowalski and Zorba, what are you doing?
So I currently have a machine gun.
You are staring down the barrel of it.
Okay.
It's smoking.
I've got a guardsman shooting in my back.
Yep.
I've got Dr. Fear over here pulling something out of the car.
Definitely pulling something out of the car. Probably not an onslaught cannon.
Okay, yeah. All right, so I hold up a finger and like, all right, just a second. I conjure some chains and I yank the onslaught cannon into my hand.
Well, you don't actually know what he's pulling out of the
Okay,
car.
fine. Whatever he's pulling out of the car,
You're
is
gonna
mine
try.
now.
All right,
I want it.
give me
Conjuration.
a conjuration test, and this is going to be a very hard one because you can't see what you're pulling at, and it's through a small window, which means it's a 16.
I've got second chance or hero. If you
I also have a second chance, so
All right, go for it.
we're gonna. The 7th. That's not great. So let's see here.
That's a flat out -2.
New test takes place at the failed one. Okay, so if I spend the second chance, I can still play a possibility.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace my roll.
All right.
That's a 16, so that's better.
All right, so it's +3.
So I'm gonna go ahead and also spend the possibility and add another one.
All right.
This is also yours. It's a 12, so 0. But
No, it adds.
oh, that's right. Okay, so that's 28. I can math. That's 9 plus, so that's a 21.
Okay, that does pull the onslaught cannon.
It wasn't.
It was an onslaught
Oh
cannon.
my goodness.
It seems to be more of a man-portable one. It's got straps. It's got. This is normally a 20 millimeter cannon that is usually mounted on the front of, say, a fighter jet. This seems to be a prototype that is a little bit more man-portable.
Does it fit on the front of an 8-foot techno-demon?
It does fit on the front.
Yeah.
Baby Bjorn.
He's sort of baby Bjorning it
It's more like a boom
right now. And that is a good point. So here's the thing: the miniature onslaught cannon, yes, it is not a full one. It is a man-portable one. So it does. It looks gnarly. It looks pretty cool. It is a. You don't know how many bullets it has, but it does look like it can do a long burst.
Okay. I assume I can't actually use it this
You
turn.
can't use it this turn.
Okay, well, no, everybody's going to shoot me now, but
Everyone is going to shoot you now and take it off of your day.
that's okay.
Cool. Put a card into play.
I will
Zorba,
take it.
it's
Yeah,
your
that's
turn.
good.
She pulls you up. She looks into your eyes and she says, "My love, I could not leave you to the predations of Dr. Fear. Go. I will protect you." And she pulls you in for a kiss and spins you around and steps in front of you.
Oh.
Several blades fall out of her sleeves and she sort of catches them with a trio of throwing knives in her chin.
And she's got her eyes on
Dr. Fear.
Dr. Fear.
Yes. She doesn't have eyes only for Dr. Fear.
Right.
Right. Okay, just wanted to be
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. I think that I would like to pull out my gun, and I would like to.
Zorba has a gun?
I have a gun.
Okay.
I have one gun. It's a small gun.
I found it on
Do you-
character.
do you-
Oh, there it is. No, Zorba. I'm
I
somewhere.
do have one. I know. I brought it with me.
Yes. I want to shoot out the tire of the Rolls Royce.
All right. Go for it.
Okay, so that's going to be.
He's a terrible shot.
But if he misses aiming at the Rolls Royce, maybe he'll hit a villain.
Or at least Dr. Fear is going to think he's being shot at, which is just as good.
So that's fire combat. That's
Many
a
people
natural
think that's
one.
the most base skill.
That's a natural one.
That is a natural one.
Uh,
Do you have a second chance?
I don't really want to play.
Okay. Okay.
Is that a fumble or what happened?
Yeah, no, it totally is. So there is this tinging noise, and Kowalski, there's blood just kind of running in your eyes. Someone shot you. Not enough to do any damage, just enough to stymie you a little bit for the next round. Yeah, this little tiny bullet hits like right here, and your eyes cross for a brief second.
It's pretty amazing that Zorba cannot actually use this thing.
Next card is.
I'm just picturing you like putting it in your pocket, like whistling, walking away.
The next card is a clever comeback. The taunt skill may be used as a defense against any type of interaction attack this round. Heroes go first. Villains become fatigued.
Excellent.
Taunt and trick
Understandable,
are the
given how this
approved
fight is
action.
going.
I know this is our longest fight so far. We're at 5 rounds. Heroes, you guys are going first. It would have been fine if not Kit rolling that too. Thank you for taking that heat.
Happy to help,
You're-
I guess.
Kit's team GM. Woo!
Nope.
Zorba Block, are you going, or shall I
What
strap up?
letter do we get for
D
Kit?
and C.
Oh, so she needs a D.
Yep, someone is coming up to talk to you this round.
Given that taunt is available and approved, if Zorba can make everyone weak, we will hammer and shoot them.
It's a taunt can be a defense this turn.
No, but also taunt and trick are the approved action.
Oh, they're also still approved.
Yeah,
Okay.
and again, if you taunt like the Jeep, like the 3 of them at a -4, and get them to flee,
Mhm.
they will leave the scene. If you taunt the 4 guys,
I was definitely just picturing the Jeep.
the
Model.
people in the Jeep.
Yeah.
So who do you want to target?
Yeah, I'll target.
I will let you know, because this is Torg, so I let you know these things, that the shock troopers, which are the 3 guys in the Jeep, and the 4 guys surrounding Brother Block, have a taunt of 7.
What would be the penalty to taunt all of them, the Jeep and everybody?
-2, -4, -6, -8, -10, -12.
Wait. Yes. I did counting.
It's tempting.
It's tempting.
We'll just taunt the guys in the Jeep.
Okay, so it's a -4.
Yeah.
Give me your taunt. And how are you trying to incite them to fury and direct them somewhere else?
Any ideas?
I don't know, but
How does one taunt a Jeep?
Oh, it's the drivers.
Yeah. No, we're rolling. You said it. We're rolling. With
No, I did not say that.
What are you, from 1928?
there's a Rolls Royce here.
You're like the toy of cars. People own you just to have fun. You are not a family vehicle.
Oh, I
Instead
love,
of taunt the
I
people.
love your
If you want suggestions, chat. We got.
Chat. Throw me some suggestions.
You guys didn't hear about the guy in the last Jeep we stole.
That's actually
That's good. Mwah.
Absolutely.
All right.
That is absolutely. I just walk up and very casually, like, lean on the side of the Jeep and just like, did you guys hear about the last Jeep?
That we encountered?
Yeah. That's a 15. And I'm at a -5.
Yeah, so 15 will give you a +2, so it would be a total of -2 to your taunt.
Yeah.
If you get to a 17, they leave the fight.
Yeah, I'm going to play my hero.
Okay, as a possibility.
Possibility.
As henchmen, they have to be thinking, oh, if I had $1 for every time I got my clothes taken off, tied up, and someone pretended to be me.
Right,
That's
so
right.
it's a -4, right?
-4 total to the
Yeah,
roll.
so I need to spend a possibility for that to get to 17. That's a 16.
And in your first one, yeah.
So 31, 10. So that's going to be
Good point, Mr. Furious. It's a good point.
22.
All right. The guy in the front, you should see the blood drain from his face, and he looks to the other guy, and the other guy reaches over and puts the car in drive and the Jeep goes tearing off down the street. Dr. Fear looks at his minions leaving. Kowalski.
He gets so fired.
So let's see here. So we got four guys that are over by. Okay, I'm gonna point this at Dr. Fear.
Okay. Long birthing?
I think so.
All right. It's +4 to the final roll, so go for it. It's a heavy weapons roll.
What does that come out as?
A skill called heavy weapons.
I don't have heavy weapons.
Then it would be a dex roll.
Okay, well, I got adrenaline, so if
Okay,
this
go
goes
for it.
poorly. All right.
Oh,
here we
good
go.
point. Thank you, Mr. Furious, for your taunting.
Yeah.
Possibly a second.
Son of a gun.
Nice.
That's a 3.
Okay.
Let's see here. So I could add a 3. So that would be
His base dodge is an 11.
okay. So my dexterity is 12.
Yep.
So
3 is -6, so it drops you to 6.
I could make it a -3. So
Yeah, you could make it a 9, which is not good.
not good enough. All right.
Oh, and you get +4 from long burst, so 9 that would be 13. If you spend your adrenaline, that's just enough to hit.
all right. I'm doing that. I'm spending my adrenaline.
So that's a base 17 damage with
Excellent.
AP 3, which is enough. It's enough to do a wound and 2 shots. So he is up, whatever his base possibilities were, +5, thanks to the Nemesis card.
Well, that's cool.
So he's going to try and soak it.
Okay.
That's a
Well, he
14,
can't die tonight.
It's true.
14, 15. He soaks it.
Okay.
You hit him, it throws him back against the Rolls Royce, crumples the door. He kind of looks around, glaring at you. He steps up, dusts his suit off. And his brother Block's turn.
Excellent.
We have to do a secondary show where that guy and Death Hawk plot against us.
What are you doing, brother Block?
There's 4 on me, 5
There's
on
technically 5. There's the 4 shock troopers and the 1 commander.
I forgot about him.
He's the one who's been wounding Block, and then it's just like, oh, stupid heal spells, all my hard work.
At some point, he's gonna run out of ammunition.
What is that brand again? Like we said,
And
wave
the-
wave.
And the
until
approved
their bullets
actions were
hit.
defend.
Nope, taunt and trick.
All I can say, Mr. Furious, is we're gonna find out.
I want to intimidate the commander into telling the other 4 to leave.
Nope, that would be
I
a
told you.
multi target. You can't taunt one guy or intimidate one guy to get the rest of them out.
Oh no, but to give the order, because he's the guy, right? Like to give the order, like we're out of here.
Right,
We're
you're
clearly losing.
all right. Give me an intimidate roll. We'll see what happens. Go for it.
I mean, we have had like 6
And
people
both-
leave the fight at this point. 7.
I say, look at me. I stare into his eyes and I say, I am not human. I healed through all of this. 5 of you jumped on me. I threw you off, and now I'm totally healed. Except I said it in French, and he has no idea what I said.
This Frenchman is talking at you.
$13.
He's not ready to leave the fight. You could make him. That is just a standard success.
Hero card.
You gotta get a player's choice on this one.
I'm so glad you guys know the rules.
20.
20 is a good success. You need to get to a 22 to get player's choice. All right. Very vulnerable or very stymied? Very vulnerable sets him up for the next round. All right. Zorba,
What did
you see the woman.
Oh, yeah.
She kind of goes to throw at Dr. Fear, and she seems to hesitate a bit. And she throws a trio at knives at the guy who shot Kowalski in the back. And they all catch him in the throat, and he just kind of tenses up, and he falls over. There's a shock trooper walking through, comes up to, yes, papers.
So in my observations of the other mummies, is there a way that I can just assume that I don't need papers and I can have a reasonable explanation for why I'm here?
You can try. They all seem to be absorbing what is going on. Like you seem to not be in the same place everyone else is. So he's kind of like, he seems to like be talking very slowly and very loudly at you. Papers. And he holds up like his ID badge. Like, papers. Because we know that's really how languages work.
Yeah, that is how languages
It
work.
probably means what you're made of.
Yeah, I want to purposely misunderstand him and just
Take off some wrappings. Give me a trick roll.
that would be a 13.
A 13.
Yeah, I'm trying to make him think that like, oh,
Yeah. No.
you're totally supposed
Here's
to
the
be
thing.
here.
Dr. Mobius definitely goes for quantity.
Great.
So a trick on these guys is an 8. So he's like, yeah, no, you belong here, and just kind of carries on down the hall. The next card is Weird Science. Oh, you did trick. Thank you. There you go. Hey, look at you. You know the rules. You know the rules.
Ooh, great.
Weird Science has A, B, C, and D.
Yes. Great.
Energy weapon attacks and science tests are favored this round.
Yes.
Attack and maneuver are the approved actions, and sadly, the heroes go first. Okay.
Okay, so now I want to turn to this math lock.
Yeah.
This hieroglyphic math lock.
Yeah.
And I obviously understand what this
It's
math is.
Yeah.
And then I want to
Magical lock.
put in the mathematical key.
Give me. Do you have what kind of what do you have science-y wise? Give me like a roll like you were doing your math magician stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would usually be a divination or an alteration.
This will be a divination roll, and it will be a hard roll, which means you need to get at least a 14.
Okay, perfect. That was a 1.
You might want to switch that second chance with Kit here, because you got to give
me this one.
Oh, yeah. I got it using parts.
Ooh.
Or are we not allowed to?
No, Math Lock, the Nile Empire lawyer radio drama. Second chance.
I'm going to spin that.
The Egyptian lawyer, but one thing I know.
That was a 19.
Okay, so that is a plus 6. Did you get at least a 14?
Okay, so this is a divination roll?
Yep.
Yes, it would be a 19.
The door hisses open. We'll come back to you in a second.
Great.
Zorba.
Thank you.
Zorba, you clearly see Dr. Fear whips his head around, looks at the woman in front of you. His eyes go wide. And he gets into the Rolls Royce. Ah!
Ooh. She must be the hidden. And how many people are left?
Right now there are the 4 shock troopers, legally distinct from goons, and the commander. And technically the Rolls Royce.
Okay.
Clean
Even
that
though
car, brother.
Yeah, that's crossed my mind.
what's that?
Shenanigans.
Yeah. I'm going to. I can, even when it's taunt is not a preferred action, I can still.
You can still taunt. You just
and
don't
I
get
can potentially get high enough
Yeah.
to remove
player's
people.
choice. Yeah, as long as you get an
Okay.
outstanding success.
All right, that's. I'm
We
gonna
have
go.
the best chat just ever. Mr. Furious says that the lawyer always shows his work, but only a verbal description because it's a radio drama. Possibility.
I'm just going to taunt the captain or the head of that band of goons that's
And
still
one for
there.
0 Earth Element because he does always solve the problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You're going to taunt.
And I'm going to taunt him just by pointing at.
So all 5 of them.
No, just the captain.
Just the captain,
Yeah,
and not the goons.
Yeah, not the goons.
Okay, go for it.
And just by pointing at Dr. Fear running away.
Okay.
Just like look at your.
Now I will say, the captain is reality rated, so you can't remove him. You can just basically get him to. I mean, you have player's choice.
Yes, I can either really stymie him or if I get high enough.
Yeah, and if you get, I mean, you can still cause him to like order a retreat at 10, like Brother Block was doing. You just can't auto remove the rest of like you could with the regular guys. So go ahead and roll
I do believe that energy weapons is the approved action, and this guy did try to shoot me.
Well, hold on. Zorba's finishing his turn.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying Zorba, if you make him very vulnerable, I will shoot him point blank.
Oh, that sounds great. So that's an 11. So 0. That's just going to be a total of 16.
Just a total of 16 versus his taunt of 11. So you got a good success. So that is he is very vulnerable.
All right, that's what we're doing.
Brother Block, are you shooting him? It's like you just see the bullet, like his eyes go wide, and the commander's like, "Come on!"
Yeah.
If I say something, then it's like a double action, right? And it's not worth it.
No.
But I do like want to. Yeah, I really want to like whisper in his ear, like, "Do you remember when you shot me from like 0 feet?" Wait, I would say meters because I'm right.
All right, give me the roll, Ben. You're energy weaponing him.
You hammering him, or
no, he's energy weaponing. It's
So energy weapon because I want a card.
Yep.
Yeah. A hammer is technically not an energy weapon.
You would still get a card.
It's
It's an attack.
I mean, it transfers.
It's just not favored.
Sweet diseases. Yeah, you just got hit with the biggest hammer you've ever seen.
So I sort of imagine that it's like just, and it's like the Team Rocket Pokemon. Ding!
I can neither confirm or deny that. Never seen.
I'm also picturing a wind up, like when you're gonna punch someone.
Popeye style. All right, Ben. He is very vulnerable, which means his dodge is a.
I would like to croquet his chest for 18.
Well, his defense this turn is a 6. Outstanding success. Why don't you go ahead and roll the damage?
You guys, I never get to pick out the 6-sided because I never have extra damage. That's 26 damage.
Oh, dang.
So what does that look like, Brother Block?
I think that I had stood up, I had prayed, and I had the hammer sort of with the handle in my hand, with the head on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said to him, like, "Do you remember when you shot me from 0 distance?" And then I did him like a whack-a-mole.
You send him flying. Oh, you send him into the ground. There's the sound of bones snapping, and his squad just sort of looked at him.
All right. So energy weapons are favored this round.
Energy weapons are
And
favored
these
this round.
weapons and everything. I don't have any possibility or any real usable cards. So I'm going to go step up onto the hood of the Rolls Royce
Okay.
and point my railgun down into the driver's seat.
So your railgun.
Well, yes, because it's
Okay.
an energy weapon.
Okay. Go for it.
Unless my giant
It is
boom
not.
Bjorn
No,
is-
it's a heavy weapon.
It's not. Yeah. Okay.
The Boom Bjorn.
Love that.
We're the best at this game.
That is a 19, so plus 6, so that's going to be a 20.
That hits the Rolls Royce.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me the.
AP2, so damage is 14.
All right. Damage is 14, and you get 2 bonus dice of damage on this. So go
Okay.
for it.
I keep thinking if only Kit was here, her harmonic wave would kill everyone and we could keep the car.
I'm sorry, yes, I am destroying the beautiful 1930s Rolls Royce. So that is.
Yeah, you are.
And that's going to
You
be
big jerk.
22 points of damage.
All right. So 22 is up 8. All right. So you hit it, and like it just you shred the hood. But the thing about that, you did a wound to it. But the thing about this is a solid.
I was actually trying to shoot the driver.
You put holes in the windshield,
Okay.
but it does not get through to the driver.
Seriously.
Is
Okay.
a solid,
Okay.
solidly
Armored.
built,
Okay.
armor piercing or armor
Is
bulletproof.
AP2 enough to get through?
AP2 is not enough to get through. But the car, you can see like smoke starts billowing from the engine. It does not look good for this vehicle. It's going to try and.
Think it's the air filter, boss. maybe the blinker fluid.
The blinker fluid. You hear drive, and Dr. Fear gets out. You think you know what terrors lurk in the night? And he gets you into this and tries to stab you in the side with his cane. What is your What is your defense there?
My defense is so that would be melee defense.
Yes.
So that's a 13. It's not great.
34 is plus 10.
Dang.
Can
I have a card from doing that last thing? Maybe I can play it and add it to my pool. Oh, well, that's.
Do not forget you have +4 because Tink loves you.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So what is that?
Tink loves me. So that's my dodge. So
No, this would be
melee defense.
Yeah.
So okay. So no dodge. So that's still 13.
a 13. Okay. You go flying from the car. The electrical discharge knocks you back several meters. Got you, Brother Block.
Yes, but also remember that Tink's energy is electrified, so anyone who punches you takes 8 damage plus 1 BD6.
It is not a punch. It is a stab with a cane. Does that still?
Yes, melee
Okay.
or
All right.
It's
melee or
not
unarmed,
feedback.
yes.
All right. So we get feedback. Go ahead and roll the bonus die of damage.
All right. That's 1.
What's your toughness? He's a little shocked.
My toughness is currently at 12.
Oh, bad.
It's gonna hurt.
That's
Fine.
3 wounds and 6 shock.
Yeah, I can't soak that. I got no possibilities. So
Anyone in chat want to donate a possibility to Kowalski for soak? Otherwise, I think he's unconscious.
Unconscious or dead?
I think you start by being dead, and then you have to roll defeat.
You roll for defeat. Are you testing for defeat?
I mean, I don't have any possibilities. Oh, Becca gives me one.
Becca gives you one.
Because
Go
she
ahead and
is
roll it.
A kind and blessed soul. All right, this is to soak.
Good luck, man.
What do I have to beat?
Well, you roll a reality test.
Okay. That's a 4. That's a -6 versus my reality, which is 13, so it's a 7.
Are there any of these things that could add to that 4?
What do you got?
I've got willpower, idea,
Willpower, does that
Action.
add to any of those add to spirit?
spirit. It gives a +3 to spirit.
So what does that get you to? Does that get you to at least 10?
That gets me to, let's see, minus 6, 7, 13. Yeah, that gives me 10.
That gets you to 10. That means you will only take 2 wounds and no shock.
Wait,
You gotta trade a card.
2 wounds actually still takes me out.
All right, roll for defeat, Kowalski.
All right, well, if I have to, I'll play this card.
What's that card?
Inevitable return.
Oh, yeah. No.
No, I got you.
You got me?
I
Okay.
got you. You
I also have
They're
Kowalski.
going to requisition another Kowalski.
Kowalski. I need you.
You should know that I'm going to shoot my gun straight up in the air.
Point break style.
I did that for you last time, so that feels appropriate.
All right. Strength or spirit, whichever is lower.
Well, definitely strength.
Really?
I am stupid and weak.
Roll a strength test.
I do also have an implant, however, that makes my defeat tests harder. It basically it's like a shock paddles, except it's implanted.
Okay. Well, you look that up.
Yeah, give me a second to find that.
This is their turn. So they have Dr. Fear's driving away. The commander is dead. Block, they're trying to get you. And they rolled a 7.
Come on.
So that gives them a total of +1. They do not hit you, even as they all put down a hail of gunfire against you. Let's see what happens with Kowalski. We may pause there.
Give me just a second longer to find my.
What are you looking for? What's your implant? Call it out to the chat.
It is the VAV cardiac
Oh,
restore.
hold on. Mr. Furious is donating a possibility to that soak roll if you want it.
I mean, I'll take it.
Go for it. Roll it.
I don't want to die.
Defeat is really hard to fail.
That's a 15, so that's better.
Okay.
So that's okay. So that puts me up from a 10 to 25.
No.
No, wait, no, right. No. 12. I'm up to a 12.
But if you want this back, you can still get
So
that.
then 15,
15.
plus your original 6
Oh, you're right.
gets you to a 21, which is an 8.
Okay, so that's a 20
A 20.
plus.
A 20 soaks all of the wounds.
Okay, so that keeps me
You owe.
alive.
You owe
Yeah.
Mr. Furious right there.
And Becca. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
It's like, yes. All right. So at this point, at the end of the round, with the 4 goons left, or Ben's got me doing, with the 4 shock troopers left, Dr. Fear driving off.
With like a smoke trail.
With a smoke trail.
Wounded Rolls Royce.
I think we'll say that the 3 of you can definitely clean these up. We will come back next week with, as the blonde mystery woman turns to talk to Zorba, her mouth opens. Inside, you step into the room and you hear, Kitten Kanan. I knew it was you. I sensed your presence as soon as you entered the building. It has been too long. I assume you've come to rejoin the great work that we left so long ago. That's where we will pick up next week on Torg, the Faite Five, Torg Eternity on the Iconic Production channel. That was an intense session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It looks at least that like our sound issues have now been completely resolved. Hopefully it sounded as good as it looked on our little sound bars. I would like to thank my Storm Knights, who are amazing. I would like to thank Mr. Furious and Buckhorn Becca for the possibilities that kept Kowalski from defeat. Hey, they've got a limited pool, man. Mr. Furious donates them to me just as often as he donates them to you. So, thank you all for joining us. Check out all the other great shows we have on the Iconic Production channel. We'll be back on Thursday with Behind the Screen, where we will be talking, answering more questions. We did a campaign clinic. If you didn't get a chance to check it out on YouTube. A bunch of people asked questions about running games, and I did my best to answer them. We did a lot of 5th edition stuff, some Torg stuff. We definitely figured out that the best system to run Shadowrun in is just Torg, with the Isle sourcebook and the Cyber Papacy sourcebook, or just don't play Shadowrun and play Torg. We'll be back on Sunday night with the Iconic Podcast. If you're able to join us at 7 p.m. Or 8 p.m. Central Time, you can tune in live as we talk about Gumshoe. And I think next week we'll be able to talk about more Torg stuff and more new shows coming to the Iconic Production channel. So if you like what we're doing, please consider following here. You were probably gifted a subscription by Rook. Rook, as always, thank you for your generosity. Follow us over on YouTube. If you guys haven't subscribed there, please do that. Like this video, leave a comment. It tells everybody that Torg is awesome and the algorithm just keeps pushing Torg to the top of people's feeds. And if you are not and would like to join us on the Discord channel, Ben is far more prolific than I am, but the Torg discussions are great. We have a lot of discussions. If you're a member of the Patreon, you get access to the Iconic Production Discord channel. You can talk with the entire cast and the chat. It's like the chat just keeps rolling between sessions. So, thank you to the chat. Thank you to my players. Thank you to Greg and the Torg team for designing a great game that we obviously all enjoy playing and running. We will be back next week. Kowalski, Mr. Furious is warning you. He has no possibilities for next week.
But he also gives them to you, so that might be good for me.
I will also point out that the stuff that you get possibilities for in the Nile Empire is not the stuff you will get possibilities for in Tharkold. You have to play into the drama of the cosm. But we will be back next week with more Torg. It is Torgsday night. We will be back next Tuesday for more of it. Till next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.